When my girlfriend told me I was replaceable and admitted she was settling for me, I was blindsided. Later, she came back, begging for another chance after realizing she wasn't as desirable as she thought. Now, I'm left questioning everything, and I could use some advice. Sarah and I had been together for 2 years, living together for 1. I'm 28, she's 26. Since she was still in school and not working full-time, I had been covering most of the bills, including the mortgage on a house I own. I never minded helping her out. I saw us as a team, and I wanted to support her while she finished her degree. But over the past few months, something changed. She started going out more, spending less time with me, and acting distant. Whenever I brought it up, she would get defensive, insisting she just needed space. I respected that. Everyone needs their own time, but something about the way she was behaving felt different. Then one night, we were casually talking about relationships and loyalty when she suddenly said, "You know, you're pretty replaceable. There are plenty of guys who would love to be with me." I was speechless. It wasn't an argument. It wasn't a heated moment. She just dropped it like it was nothing. I felt hurt, disrespected, and honestly kind of disgusted. When I reacted, she laughed it off, saying she was joking and I was overreacting. But her tone didn't sound like a joke, and considering how distant she had been acting, I couldn't just brush it off. Who says something like that to their boyfriend, unless they truly believe it? I found myself stuck between two thoughts. Was I overthinking this, or was this a massive red flag? The idea of breaking up crossed my mind immediately. If she already saw me as replaceable, then what was the point of continuing the relationship? But I didn't want to make a rash decision I'd regret later. So I asked for advice, and the overwhelming response was clear. She didn't value me, and I needed to move on. Taking that advice to heart, I sat down with Sarah for a serious conversation. I told her how much her words had hurt me and how I was seriously reconsidering our relationship. Instead of apologizing or trying to understand where I was coming from, she got defensive and angry. She scoffed and said, "You're being so dramatic. Plenty of better guys have been hitting on me anyway. Honestly, I was settling for you, but I stayed because I love you." That was it. That was the moment I realized I had to end things. I told her we were done and that she needed to move out. When I reminded her that I had been paying for everything, including the house she had been living in rent-free, she completely lost it. She started screaming, throwing things, and accusing me of being heartless. But I kept my cool and made it clear she had until the end of the week to move out. After she left, the texts and calls started. First, she was furious, blaming me for everything. Then, she started apologizing and begging me to take her back. She claimed she was just stressed from school and hadn't meant what she said. But at that point, I knew the truth. Asterisk, asterisk, she didn't respect me, and I wasn't going to waste any more of my time. Asterisk, asterisk. Just when I thought it was over, things got worse. Sarah started showing up at my house unannounced, crying and pleading for another chance. When I refused to let her in, she brought some of her friends with her. They stood outside my house, yelling at me, calling me a jerk for kicking her out, saying I was overreacting. I calmly told them that this was between Sarah and me, and they had no business interfering. Eventually they left, but the drama didn't stop there. A few days later, I got a message from one of Sarah's own friends, someone I didn't know very well, but who clearly felt I deserved the truth. She told me that Sarah had been cheating on me for months. Apparently, she had been seeing another guy behind my back, but when she went to him after our breakup, he dumped her. Why? Because he found out she had been living with me and using my money. Everything suddenly made sense. The sudden distance, the increased nights out, the replaceable comment. It wasn't just a bad joke. It was her real mindset. I confronted Sarah about it, and at first, she denied everything. But when I showed her the messages from a friend, she broke down and admitted it. Her excuse? She felt neglected and unloved because I was working too much to pay the bills. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I had been sacrificing to make sure we had a stable life while she was sneaking around with someone else. That was the final straw. I told her I never wanted to see or hear from her again. I changed the locks, blocked her on everything, and made it clear that she needed to stay away from me for good. Since then, I've been focusing on myself, spending time with friends, getting back into my hobbies, and even starting therapy to process everything. It's been tough, but I finally feel free from all the stress and manipulation. Of course, Sarah wasn't done. She started telling our mutual friends a completely different story, one where she was a victim. She claimed I was controlling and jealous, and that's why she had to go out so much. She spun the narrative to make it look like I was the bad guy, but honestly, I don't care. The people who truly know me and saw what happened know the truth. And as much as it sucks to have lies spread about me, I've realized that her version of events doesn't matter. I waste enough time and energy on someone who never valued me. Now, I'm moving on, looking forward to a future where I'm respected and appreciated. Thanks to everyone who gave me advice. You helped me see the truth and gave me the courage to make the right decision. I deserve better, and I'm finally ready to find it.